Hello, students. In today's class, we are going to learn about work, energy, and power, NCRT section 5.8 and example 5.7. Disclaimer: the images, text, and other materials used in our presentations are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners. If you are the owner and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the content immediately. Please note that parts of the content may have been generated using generative AI, which is experimental. Learning objective. By the end of this lecture, you will able to understand the concepts of conservation of mechanical energy and vertical circular motion. So, in today's class, we will cover 5.8 the conservation of mechanical energy, example 5.7. Now, here, first question arises: what is mechanical energy? Mechanical energy is simply the total energy of a body has because of its motion and position. It is the sum of two types of energy: kinetic energy and potential energy. Principle of conservation of mechanical energy states that if the forces doing work on a system are conservative, the total mechanical energy of system is conserved, or we can say remains constant. It means what? It means if the force uh, is conservative, so we can say the total mechanical energy of system is conserved. If only conservative forces like gravity or spring force are acting on a system, then total mechanical energy remains constant. So, in another way, we can say kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial is equal to kinetic energy final plus potential energy final. Or we can say no energy is created or destroyed, it just transforms between kinetic and potential form. If we take the real life examples, body falling freely. So at the top, the height, say, suppose h and speed 0. So in that case, the potential energy is mgh and kinetic energy 0. Yes or no? So from work energy theorem, the change in kinetic energy, final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy is equal to net work done. If only conservative forces do work, then the net work is equal to WC. So in that case, we can say the change in kinetic energy, final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy is equal to work done. Why conservative force? So by the definition of potential energy, that is delta V is equal to minus WC. Change in potential is equal to negative of work done. Now combining these two equations, first delta K is equal to WC and delta V is equal to minus WC. So we get delta K is equal to minus delta V, which means the change in kinetic energy plus change in potential energy is 0. So in another way, we can say kinetic energy plus potential energy is equal to zero, means remains constant. The sum of kinetic and potential energies of body is a constant. So we can say kinetic energy plus potential energy is equal to constant according to conservation of mechanical energy. So K plus V is the total mechanical energy. We know total mechanical energy means sum of potential energy plus kinetic energy. Now here, this is the mathematical expression of conservation of mechanical energy. So here, this is the initial kinetic energy and initial potential energy. And this is final kinetic energy is equal to final potential energy. So this is initial energy is equal to final energy. Conservation of mechanical energy principle is valid only when all forces doing work on the system are conservative. Otherwise, it will be not valid. If non-conservative forces like friction are present, in that case, mechanical energy is not conserved. It is usually converted into other forms like heat. Since the work done by the conservative forces depends only on the end points, it means it does not depend on path. It depends on initial and final position. If initial and final position is same, so we can say the work done should be zero. Clear? So mathematically, work done is equal to change in kinetic energy, final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. Or we can say change in minus of change in potential energy. So potential energy at xi minus potential energy at xf. Conversion of potential energy to kinetic energy. Here we will take an example to prove conversion of potential energy to kinetic energy. So consider a ball of mass m. We have a ball and a mass m being dropped from a cliff of height h. So as we seen in figure 5.5, the height is given, that is h, and we drop a cliff. At the highest point, the ball has only potential energy equal to mgh. Potential energy means the energy possessed by an object due to its position. So here height of the object is h. So the potential energy will be what? mgh, mass into acceleration due to gravity into height. So this is the potential energy. And at the highest point, the kinetic energy is zero because the velocity is zero. So we can say the total energy at the highest point. At the highest point, the total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. We know at the highest point, kinetic energy is zero and the potential energy is mgh due to height h. So thus we can say kinetic energy 0 plus potential energy mgh. So it will be total energy at the highest point is equal to mgh. This is the total energy at the highest point. Now, if we change the height, so as the ball falls to intermediate height h, small h is the intermediate height. it has both potential energy and kinetic energy. Why? Because the ball have in motion state. So it has both potential energy and kinetic energy. We know the potential energy here is, if we talk about the at intermediate height h, small h, so it will be mg small h, and the kinetic energy, it will be half mv square, velocity at height small h. So this is half mv square h. So we can say the total mechanical energy is the sum of potential energy and sum of kinetic energy. So in this case, intermediate situation, the potential energy is mgh and the kinetic energy is half mv square. So it will be total energy when a ball falls to intermediate height small h. Clear? So now at ground level, if we talk about the at ground level, so in that case the energy becomes purely kinetic energy. Why? Why kinetic energy becomes purely? Why energy becomes purely kinetic energy? Because at the ground potential energy is equal to zero. Height is zero, so we can say the potential energy is zero. So there is a only, or we can say there purely kinetic energy. Yes, at ground level, no height. So we can say the uh, potential energy zero and purely kinetic energy is half mv square. Now, so total mechanical energy. We know total mechanical energy is sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy. So at ground level, the total mechanical energy is kinetic energy plus potential energy. So at the ground level, potential energy is zero because there is a no height, and the kinetic energy is half mv square. Now we know at the ground level the total energy is half vf square, final velocity. Now we will calculate this final velocity at the ground level. So the velocity at ground level we will calculate here. Since gravitational force is a conservative force, f of x, here gravitational force is conservative, so total mechanical energy is conserved throughout the fall. Hence the mechanical energy is conserved. So at height h, this is the total mechanical energy. At ground level, this is the total mechanical. So at if we talk about maximum height, the total mechanical energy is mgh, because at the top kinetic energy is zero, there is only potential energy, that is mgh. If we talk about the ground level, at ground level there is only kinetic energy, there is no potential energy because there is no height. So this is half mv square. Mgh is equal to half mvf square. This is the final velocity at ground. Now we will calculate the final velocity at ground level. So at ground level, we will solving for final velocity. So gh is equal to half final square of final velocity. So now gh into 2, when we cross multiply it, so it will become 2 gh is equal to square of final velocity. So final velocity is under root 2gh. Clear? So velocity is under root 2gh. Now, if we talk about uh, at any height, so similarly, we can say during any height h. So during fall, the at the maximum height energy eh is equal to at any height energy eh is equal. Both are equal due to energy conservation. So using square of final velocity is equal to 2gh, we get v square h is equal to 2g h minus h. Here h minus h represents the any height. This h small h is any height. So the final velocity is equal to under root 2g h minus small h, where small vh is the velocity at height h, small g is acceleration due to gravity, capital H is the initial height, and small h is the final height. Example 5.7. A bob of mass m is suspended by a light string of length L. So we have a length of the string is L. Listen carefully, this is important question. It is imparted a horizontal velocity v0 at the lowest point A, such that it completes a semicircular trajectory in a vertical plane with a string coming slack only on reaching the topmost point C. This is shown in figure 5.c. Figure 5.6. Obtain an expression for v0. Second one is the speed at points B and C. And third one is the ratio of kinetic energy at B and C. Comment the nature of the trajectory of the bob after reaches the point C. So there is a 3 questions A, B and C. We will solve each part one by one. You have some time to read this question again. Please read. Using this example, we will also learn vertical circular motion. Vertical circular motion. So solution. Vertical circle motion. You have all seen someone swing a bucket of a water in a circle above their head without the water falling. Ever wondered how that works? That's vertical circular motion. And today we will all understand the physics behind it. When a body moves in a circular path in a vertical plane under the influence of gravity, it is called vertical circular motion. And vertical circular motion is a type of motion where object moves along a circular path in a vertical plane. Unlike horizontal circular motion, here the speed of the object changes at different position because of gravity. It's characterized by the object movement, changing direction at every point along the circle. So if we talk about at point A, at point B, and at point B, the direction is different at every point. Can you tell me what causes the speed to increase at the bottom and decrease at the top? Gravity helps at the bottom and oppose at top. Now let's see the solution. So first we will find expression for V naught. Let the potential energy at the lowest point A. A is the lowest point, B is intermediate, and C is the highest point. So at the lowest point, the potential energy is 0 because there is a no height. So the energy at point A is kinetic energy plus potential energy. So it will be half mv square, half mv naught square, because the potential energy is 0. This is only at the lowest point A. So the forces acting on the bob are tension and gravity, because bob are connected with string. So there is a two forces. First is tension, second is gravity. And what is the direction of tension and what is the direction of gravity? If we talk about the tension acting along the string towards the center. If we talk about the gravity acting vertically downwards, always. So work done by the tension is always 0. Why? As it's perpendicular to the velocity. So the direction of the velocity of an object is tangent at point A, and the tension is acting towards the center. So the angle between velocity and tension force is 90 degree. So we can say work done by the tension is always 0 because theta is 90 degree. We know the formula of the work done: force into displacement F dot D, or when we resolve dot product, it will be force into displacement into cos theta. So here theta is 90 degree. So we can say the work done by the tension is always 0. Gravity is conservative force. So in that case, we can say mechanical energy is conserved. So the energy at point C, if we talk about the at point C, topmost point, sum of kinetic energy plus sum of potential energy. Yes or no? This is the total mechanical energy. EC is the total mechanical energy. So kinetic energy at point C is half m Vc square plus potential energy is Vc, where Vc is the speed of the bob at point C. This point C. Now, at the highest point C, uh, the length is from the lowest point to highest point. The length is 2L because the radius of this circle is L. So we can say length is 2L. Thus, the potential energy at point C due to gravitational force is the potential energy at point C is equal to mg 2L. 2L is here is the height. So we know the formula of the potential energy mgh. So it will be mg 2L. Therefore, the total energy at point C is kinetic energy plus potential energy. So kinetic energy is half mvc square plus 2 mgl. So this is the total energy at point C. Now, at point C, the string becomes slack. So there is a no tension. So tension force is 0 because there is only gravity that is acting vertically downward and providing the centripetal force. You know, centripetal force is always directed towards the center of the circular path. So here the centripetal force is provided by the only by the gravity. So centripetal force is given by here mv square c divided by L. We know the formula mv square by R. So here R is the length, but the given length is L, capital L. So we can say mvc square is divided by L, where m is the mass of the bob and L is the length of the string. So this is the centripetal force. Now, equating gravitational force with centripetal force, it will be mg is equal to mv square c divided by L. So mm cancel out. The remaining term is vc square is equal to gl. So vc is equal to under root gl. This is the velocity at point C, that is equal to under root gl. Clear? Now, apply conservation of energy between 2 points. First point is point at A, second one is at C. So the energy at point A is EA and energy at point C is EA. So according to conservation of energy neither be created nor be destroyed, only transformed one form to another form. So EA is equal to EC. So EA is half mv naught square is equal to half mvc square plus 2mgl. Now solving it, half mv naught square is equal to half m, and velocity at point C is gl. So just put here and it will be 2mgl. So solving for v naught, so it will be half mv naught square is equal to 5 by 2 mgl. This is just simple mathematics. So cancel out and 2 also cancel out. The remaining term is v naught square is equal to 5gl. So v naught is equal to under root 5gl. It means at point A, the velocity is under root 5gl. And at point C, the velocity is gl, under root gl. Yes or no? So speeds at point B and at point C. Let's see. So we already found speed at point C, that is under root gl, and we already found speed at point A, that is under root 5gl. So the potential energy at point B due to gravitational force is Vb is equal to mgl. This is the formula of the potential energy. L is the length if we talk about the at point B. So at point B, the potential energy is mgl. Now the energy at point B here, the total energy is sum of kinetic energy and sum of potential energy. So the kinetic energy at point B is Kb and potential energy at point B is Vb. So put the kinetic energy at point B, that is half mv square B, plus potential energy, that is mgl, where Vv is the speed of the bob at point B. Here. Now apply conservation of energy between 2 points, A points and B point. So energy at point A is equal to energy at point B. So energy at point A is half mv naught square is equal to energy at point B, that is half mv square plus mgl. The important point here is this. Listen carefully. Here we have to find out the here we have a relate energy according to conservation of energy. So at point A, energy is EA. At point A, there is a only kinetic energy because there is a no potential energy due to absence of height. There is a no height, so only kinetic energy, that is half mv naught square. Yes or no? And if we talk about the at point B, so there is a both kinetic energy plus potential energy. So kinetic energy is half mvv square plus mgl, that is potential energy. So according to conservation of energy, we will equate this. So it will be 1 by 2 m v naught square is 5gl. We already calculated, is equal to 1 by 2 m vv square plus mv square mgl. Now we will solve this equation. This is the only remaining term, is only mathematical terms. So solving for velocity at speed at point B. So it will be 5 by 2 mgl minus mgl is equal to 1 by 2 velocity at point V square. So after subtraction, it will be 3 by 2 mgl is equal to 1 by 2 m vv square. So vv square is equal to 3gl. So speed at point B is equal to under root 3gl. So next we will calculate the ratio of kinetic energy at point B and at point C. So at point P, the kinetic energy is half m vv square, and when we put the value of velocity speed at point B, so it will be 1 by 2 into m. The value of vv is v square v is 3gl, so it will be 3 by 2 mgl. Kinetic energy at point B is 3 by 2 mgl. After substitution of speed at point speed at point B, so it will be 3 by 2 mgl. So kinetic energy at point C is equal to 1 by 2 vc square. This is the kinetic energy at point C. So solving for kinetic energy at point B and kinetic energy at point C. So it will be kinetic energy at point C is equal to 1 by 2 mgl is equal to 1 by 2 mgl. When we solving this term, so it will be 1 by 2 mgl only. So the ratio is 3 by 2 mgl divided by 1 by 2 mgl. So mgl cancel out. 2 also cancel out. The remaining term is 3. It means the ratio of kinetic energy at point B to and kinetic energy at point C is equal to 3. So now we will talk about the trajectory after C. So after C point, or we can say at point C, the string becomes slack and the velocity of the bob is horizontal to the left. If the string is cut at point C, the bob follow projectile motion like a rock thrown horizontally from a cliff. Projectile motion means like a bob, like a stone is thrown from a horizontal surface with some angle, and it follow the trajectory, follow a parabola trajectory. So if string remains intact, the bob continues its circular path and completes the revolution. Summary. Total mechanical energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. In absence of non-conservative forces, total mechanical energy remains constant. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square and gravitational potential energy is equal to mgh. Tension in string or rod and gravity are main forces in vertical circular motion. Now we have some questions for you. Please solve. First question. This is practice questions for you. First, a bead of mass m moves in a vertical circle of radius r. If it starts from rest at the top, find its speed at the bottom. So in this question, you have to find out the speed at the bottom. Second one is, what is the minimum initial speed V naught required at the lowest point for a ball of mass m to complete a vertical circle of radius r? Third one, in a vertical circle of radius small r, at what height h from the bottom will a particle have half its speed at the bottom? Fourth, a pendulum bob of mass 2 kg swings in a vertical circle of radius 1 meter. Find its tension at the bottom of its speed. There is a speed is 5 meter per second. And fifth is, at what point on a vertical circle does the normal force equal to the weight of the particle if it is just enough speed to complete the circle? So this is practice questions for you. Clear? So first question, which of the following statements is true regarding the conservation of mechanical energy? Options, it holds only when non-conservative forces are present. Second is, the sum of kinetic and potential energy remains constant if conservative force act. Option C, the total mechanical energy increases if work is done by conservative forces. And last, potential energy alone is always conserved. So which option is correct? Yes, please answer. So we know, according to principle of conservation of mechanical energy, the total mechanical energy, kinetic energy plus potential energy remains constant when only conservative forces are involved. Non-conservative forces would cause a change in this total energy. So the sum of the kinetic energy and potential energy. Next question. A ball is dropped from height h. What is its speed when it hits the ground? So question asks about the speed of the ball when ball hits the ground. Please solve. Using the mechanical conservation of mechanical energy. So we know potential energy mgh. Here h is capital H. mgh is equal to half mv square. So we have to find out the speed, means v. So mm cancel out. So gh is equal to 1 by 2 v square. So v is equal to under root 2gh. So just put the value. So g is 9.8. The question asked about in terms of g and h. So it will be what? Under root 2gh. Yes or no? Next one. In the case of a pendulum bob completing a vertical circle, what is the minimum speed required at that lowest point for it to reach the topmost point with the string slack, where L is the string length? So in this question, you have to find out the what? Minimum speed. What is the minimum speed? Please solve. Here use the conservation of energy. So it will be this one. Because we know uh, when during circular motion, when a bob like move like this, so there is a two forces. First, tension that is acted along the string towards the center of the circular path, and second one is vertical acceleration due to gravity, that is mg. So here tension plus mg is provided centripetal force. So save it, and next third one. At the topmost point of its trajectory, vertical in a vertical circle, the tension in the string of a pendulum bob becomes zero. What is the relationship between speed vc and gravitational acceleration? So here you have to find out the relationship between speed at point c and gravitational acceleration. So we know mc is equal to mg is equal to m v square c divided by l. Yes or no? So at the topmost point here, at the topmost is at point C, suppose at point C here. So here only gravity will act. There is a no tension in the string that is acted always vertically downward. So the force, centripetal force provided by gravity, the length is L. So it will be mv square divided by L. So Vc is equal to what? Under root GL. Yes or no? So it will be this one. Next question. A conservative force f of x is related to potential energy v of x. Why? Which equation? First, f of x is equal to minus dv upon dx. Second, f of x is equal to dv upon dx. Third, delta v upon delta x. And last, v of x divided by x. So which option is correct? Please solve. You have a 1 minute. This is directly formula based question. So we know f of x is equal to minus of dv upon dx. This is a direct formula. So it will be A option is correct. Now save. Submit. So let's see the solutions. First one, which of the following statements is true regarding the conservation of total mechanical energy? So according to conservation of mechanical energy, the sum of kinetic and potential energy remains constant if conservative force acts. So this one is correct. A ball is dropped from a height h. What is the speed? Its speed when it hits the ground. So when it hits the ground, we will use the conservation of mechanical energy. mgh is equal to half mv square. So v will be under root 2gh. So it means under root 2gh is the correct. Next one. In case of pendulum bob completing a vertical circle, what is the minimum speed required at the top lowest point for it to reach the topmost point with the string slack, where L is the string length? So in that case, apply the conservation of energy. So total mechanical energy at the lowest point is half mv1 square, and the total mechanical energy at the highest point is half mv2 square plus 2 mgl. So E1 is equal to E2 according to conservation of energy. So it will be half mv square is equal to half mv2 square plus mgl, 2 mgl. So to find the minimum speed, we will equate. So string to be slack at the highest point. So tension must be 0. So T2 plus mg is equal to mv square, where L is the length of the pendulum. So T2 is 0, so V2 is equal to under root GL. So V2 is equal to under root GL into the conservation of energy equation. So we get this equation. So V1 is equal to under root 5 GL to ensure Bob has enough speed to reach point C with tension 0. This is already solved in the lecture. Clear?